frequency distribution for class 9. This topic is the introduction to statistics. Now to begin with, what is statistics? Statistics is the science of collection of data, then arranging that data, drawing analysis, and finally interpreting the data. Now in this topic though, we will be seeing how the collected data is arranged. Now to begin with, what is data? Data is nothing but the collection, or it is the set of facts. Set of facts. And these data, these facts are always in terms of numbers. Note that a single observation or a single number does not comprise of a data. Now this data here is of two types. You have primary data and secondary data. Now, primary data is the data that is collected by the investigator himself, and secondary data is the data that has been collected by someone else. Now, because this is the data collected by the investigator himself for his study, he will know what the data is required for. Whereas the person who has collected the data, someone other than the investigator, wouldn't know for what purpose this data has been collected. So there could be some errors. So that is the reason primary data is more reliable than the secondary data. Now the next term that you have to know in this topic is what is called as a variable. Variable is nothing but these observations that you have collected in this data. The quantities that take different values is said to be as a variable. Variable is the quantity that takes different values, meaning this is nothing but the data that you have collected. For example, the variable could be heights or weights of the ages or the salaries. Suppose say an investigator has to collect the data on the of 25 students and say he wants to collect the heights of the students. So that height will be denoted by say the variable, say any variable as x. So that will be that quantity, that is heights will be the quantity which will take different values. So for 25 students the heights will be different. Now again, this variable is of two types. You have a continuous variable and there is discontinuous or discrete variable. Now continuous variables are all those quantities which take any numerical values. For example, let us consider say heights, weights, and say even the salaries. Meaning in common layman language, continuous variables are all those variables which take any values in the real numbers, meaning these values could be in terms of decimal numbers also. The discrete or discontinuous variables are those quantities which take numerical values, but they cannot take values between say any two numbers, meaning they cannot take decimal values. For example, the number of members in a family, or say the number of players in a team. Now if say suppose let us consider the number of members in a family. If there are two parents say and two kids, so one is very small, you cannot consider that the number of number of members in that would be say 3.5. So you will be considering that there are 4 members. So such quantities which take different values but not decimal values are said to be discontinuous or discrete variables. The next terms, the next definitions that we need to know is the range. Now when you collect the data, remember the difference between the highest observation and the lowest observation will be called as the range. So this is the difference between the maximum or the largest and the minimum observation. is said to be the range. So, and the next thing that you have to know is the frequency. What is the frequency? The frequency is nothing but it tells you how many times an observation has occurred in a data. So the number of times an observation has occurred is called as the frequency. Let us consider, say, the marks obtained by, say, 10 students out of 20. So they would be 12, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the marks obtained by 10 students out of 20. So the first thing is, what will be the range in this? The highest observation here is 20. So the range will be 20 minus the smallest observation over here is 6. So the range is going to be 14. Now the next thing that we have to remember is the frequency. Now note that in this, the observation 10 and the observation 12 and 6 and 20, these are occurring. Say 10 is occurring 2 times. So the frequency of the observation 10 is 2. Similarly, for 12 it is again 2, for 22 and for 6 it will be 3. Next that we have to know is the frequency distribution. Frequency distribution is nothing but arranging this data in the tabular form wherein you show the frequency of the observation. Now here these are the marks obtained, so that will be the observation or the variable, say xi. The frequency is denoted by f. So arranging this data in the tabular form. Now note that how many observations are there? 6, 10, 12, 18 and 20. So now note that you have 6 is occurring 3 times, so the frequency will be 3. 10 is occurring twice, so the frequency will be 2. 12 again is occurring 2 times. 18 is occurring once and 20 is occurring 2 times. So this tabular arrangement is said to be as the frequency distribution, wherein it shows the frequency of the observations occurred. Let us consider the marks obtained by 20 students is given here, and these are all the marks out of 20. Now this data that is obtained in the original form is said to be as the raw data, or it is also called as ungrouped data. So now this raw data or ungrouped data is to be put in frequency distribution, that is in the tabular form, in the frequency distribution form using the telemarks. So how will that go? You have, say, your observation, that is the marks obtained is your variable, then you have the telemarks and you have the frequency. So we have the smallest as 8, then we have 9, 10, then there is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and there is 18. Is there? Yes. And there is 20. So now what is the meaning of telemark? Now here, because the observations are less in number, it becomes easier. But if the observations were many, then to keep count of each of the observation occurring 3-4 times becomes too much. So let us see using this example itself. So first the number 8. So it has occurred 1 and twice. So there will be 2 dots here. So there are 2 bars, so it means the frequency will be 2. Now when the 9. So 9 again is occurring 2 times, so it will be 1 and 1, which is 2. Second is 10. So first 10, so that I'll put 1, there is another 10, so another one, again the frequency is 2. Let us check for 12. So 12, 1, then there is another 12, again 1, and you have another 12, 1, which means the frequency for 12 is 3. Let us check for 13. It is just 1, so it will be 1 itself. 14 is 1. 15 again, there is 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 will make it 2. 16, there is 1, 2. 1 and 2. Now note that, there is another number 9, so I'll be in place of 9, I'll put here another tally, so which will make it 3. Okay. The next one is 18. So 18, there is just 1. And finally for 20, 1 and 2. And again there is a slight error of 8, so there is another 1. So here also I'll make an error and mistakes, so that is 3. So therefore, the raw data is written in the tabular form with the help of tally marks. So here the data was less, so we have taken using tally marks, as we have cancelled, whenever we have cancelled each observation, you put a tally mark, and at the total of that will be the frequency. Now the given raw data can be further arranged in the condensed form, making small groups. That will be called as grouped data. Now grouped data can be made into smaller groups based on its sizes, and that is called as the class intervals. Now you can see that I have drawn here two tables. Now look at the class intervals in both of these. Now in group data there are two types of tables, or there are two types. First, this one is called as the continuous interval, and this one is called as a discontinuous intervals. Based on the class intervals, group data is categorized into two parts, that is continuous intervals and discontinuous intervals. Note that group data is the tabular arrangement of data itself, and they are condensed into groups. These groups are your class intervals. Now look at this. You have 1 to 10. Note that in this is called as a class intervals. Now if we consider the first one, 1 to 10, in this class interval, the lower number on the left hand side is called as the lower limit, and the number on the right hand side of the class interval, or the larger number, is said as the upper limit. Now, in the continuous interval, the upper limit is continued in the next class interval. So you have 10 to 20. Similarly, this upper limit is again continued in the next class interval to have 20 to 30. In discontinuous class interval, we see you have 1 to 10. This 10 is not continued in the next class intervals. Instead, it is taken as 11. Hence, it is called as discontinuous. Now, note that in continuous, the numbers included in this class interval is from 1 to 9. And you see that 10 is not included in this class interval. Hence, this continuous is also called as excluded class interval. Excluded because the upper limit is not included in this class interval. So you will be taking all the marks obtained in this group from 1 till 9. This 10 is taken in the next interval, and in the next interval also the upper limit is not taken. So all the numbers will be from 10 to 19. Similarly, in this case, it will be from 20 to 29. But in a discontinuous class interval, both the bounds are taken. That is, you have from 1, and 10 will also be taken in this class interval. So therefore, this is called as inclusive class interval, and this is called as exclusive class intervals. Okay. Now let us do the telemarks for this and find the frequencies. Now for telemarks here again, we will be so now here it is for the first interval 1 to 10, we have to take all numbers from 1 to 9. So let us take all of those. So from 1 to 9 we have first 8. So I'll put the tele for that. The next one is 5, another tele. 3, another tele. 5 and 6, so 1 and 5. That's it. So from in the class interval of 1 to 10 there are 5 observations. The frequency is 5. So these are the number of times these observations have occurred. Second, from 10 to 20, we note that 20 is not included. So it will be 15, so 1. 12 will be another one. 14, 15, 1, 2. 18 will be another one. 12, 11, 11 and 19 will give me another one. So this is 5 and 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. From 20 to 30 though, it will be from 20 till 29. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let us find the tele for discontinuous class intervals. So now note that again. So for the second one, we note that for discontinuous and inclusive one, 1 is also included and 10 is also included. So let us do the tele again. So that is 8, 5. So that will be 1, 2, 3. That will be again this. Then there is 5, 6, 1 and 2. And then there is, that's it. So this is again 5. Next is from 11 to 20. So 20, this will be 1. Then there is 15. 15. Then there is 12. Then you have 14 and 15. Then there is 18, 12, 11, 19. And then there is again 20 because 20 is included in this. So that will be 10. And the final one is from 21 to 30. So all the remaining ones, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you have continuous and exclusive, and you have discontinuous and inclusive. Now this falls under group data. Now once you have this, now note that students, there is something called as through upper limit and through lower limit. Now what is a through upper limit and through lower limit? Through lower limit, and there is through upper limit. Now, for a continuous or exclusive class intervals, the through upper limit and through lower limit is same as this itself. So the through lower limit over here for a continuous one is 1, and the through upper limit will be 10 itself. This is for continuous one. But for discontinuous class intervals, it changes slightly. To calculate the true lower limit or the upper limit of this, we take 10 and we add it to the next one. So to calculate, say through upper limit of the first class, the formula given is 10, that is the upper limit of the first class interval, and the lower limit of the next previous class interval divided by 2, which is 10.5. So the through upper limit of this class interval is 10.5. What will be now? The next thing is the lower limit of this class interval will be the same. That is of the next. Note that the upper limit of this and the lower limit, true lower limit, will be one and the same. Similarly for this case, the upper limit of this one, true upper limit of this class interval, and the true lower limit of this will be one and the same, which is 20.5.